Good morning to one and all, and once again welcome to economics class. In this class we are going to see the next point of the chapter people as a resource. So in this point I want to request you all have a notebook and a pen to copy down the important points. Chapter number 2, people as a resource. We are on the fourth topic to see economic activities by men and women. So here we are going to talk and discuss about what are economic activities given by men and women. So women and men both are doing the activities. Whether they are economics or they are non-economic activities, we are going to see. First, what is economics activity? In that activity, if monetary is going to be there, if money is included in that particular activity, so that activity is called as economic activity. Non-economic activity, in that the money matter is not at all included. In my previous presentation, already I stated to you, your mother is preparing food for you with the love, care and affection for you. She is not charging anything to you. So that is non-economic activity. The activities which involving money in that for their transaction, for the selling, buying, purchasing or any service, so that is going to be called as economic activity. So here we are going to see today only economic activities by the men and women. What are they? We are going to see. So let's proceed. Point number 1, like Vilas and Sakal. People have been engaged in various activities. We saw that the Vilas sold fish and Sakal got job in the farm. So from here only in your notebook you should make the bifurcation. Both are economic activity, but how they are earning more and less. The story of Vilas one side and the story of Sakal at one side with the help of your pen and paper. Next, moving further to see the various activities have been classified into three main sections. They are primary, secondary and tertiary. So here I want to speak to you about that. When we are talking about economic activities, so they are going to be classified into three sections. They are the primary, secondary and tertiary. By showing the hand, it doesn't mean that they are having the label, but primary means to be the producing one. That means basically we are calling the agriculture sector. Secondary means to be the manufacturing sector. In this, all the goods and services are going to be manufactured. And tertiary sector, that is going to be called as service sector, where all the facilities, the service are available for the use. They are ready to purchase. So primary, secondary and tertiary are the three sectors of the economy. Next, primary sector include agriculture, forestry, animal husbandry, fishing, poultry farming, mining and oil. So all these activities which are directly related to the nature and they are doing, that is going to be they are extracting, they are producing, they are giving the raw material to others. So next, these primary sector, in that whatever the activities are there, please see it carefully. This is very important to understand in 9th standard in economics only. What is primary sector, what is secondary sector, what is tertiary sector. So next point, manufacturing sector, that means we are talking here about secondary sector. Is include all the manufacturing work. Now last one is tertiary, it is including all the service activities. So trade, transportation, communication, banking, education. Here I am teaching to you, that comes under in tertiary sector, that means service sector. Then next, health, tourism, services, insurance, etc. are included in the tertiary sector. So here is the bifurcation for the primary, secondary and tertiary activities. Next, the activities in this sector result in the production of the goods and services as I stated to you earlier. So these activities add value to the national income. So all these goods and services which are produced in a different sector, the final value when it is going to be added, that is going to be connected into the national income. Then these activities are called as economic activities because in these activities the product and the final goods and services are prepared and the final product only for the profit purpose. Then activities have two parts, market activities and non-market activities. So what are market activities? Which are basically only for the trade and commerce, and non-activity they are not. So market activity include the remuneration to anyone who perform that activity. Remuneration needs to be, we are paying to that purpose. Activity performed to pay or the profit as I stated to you. That will be the market activity. So let's go to see to other point. These include production of goods or service including government service. Non-market activities are the production for self-consumption. For our own self-consumption, when the activities are they going to be there, so that activities are going to be categorized as a non-market activity. These can be consumption and processing of primary product and own account production of fixed asset for our own consumption. Due to historical and cultural reasons. So here we are going to see about historical and cultural reason. There is a division of labor between men and women. So here we are going to see about the economic activity performed by men and women. So there is a labor distinguished between the man and women, right? Women generally look after domestic chores and men work in the field. So here we are knowing about that men are going outside the house and they are working there, earning money and bringing back to the home. So next, and women, they are having their domestic chores on. Sakal's mother Sheila cook food, clean utensils, washes clothes, clean the house and look after her children. Sakal's father Buttu then cultivates the field, sells the products in the market and earn money for the family. Already we have seen the story of Sakal and here the bifurcation of what the father is doing and what mother is doing. Right? So mother is looking after the domestic chores and father is moving outside the home for the purpose of earning. Next, Sheila is not paid for the services delivered for upbringing for the family. Bhuta earns money which he spent on rearing his family. So Bhuta is spending money for the family, but whatever the service the mother she is providing, she is not charging anything. So women are not paid for their services delivered in the family. The household work done by the woman is not recognized in the national income. So here the point is very clear. Why this is going to be not included in the national income? Because she is not going to be paid for the work, because she is preparing with the love, affection and care for her family. Okay? Next, Geeta, mother of Vilas, earn an income by selling fish. So here Geeta, she is managing the traditional business of their own, catching the fish and selling. Thus the women are paid for the work when they enter to the labor market. So when women enter to the labor market, they are going to be paid. And as Geeta, she is earning. They are earning like that of their male counterpart is determined on the basis of education and skill. Next, education helps individuals to make better use of the economic opportunity available before him. Education and skill are the major determinants of earning of any individual in the market. Next, a majority of the women have much education and low skill formation. Women are paid low compared to the men. Most women work with job security is not there. So, job security, less pay is the two major factors is coming out from this paragraph. Various activities relating to the legal production is much and employment in this sector is characterized by the regular, irregular and low income. So by this three paragraph we are summing up that men and women both are involved in economic activity, but men are paid higher and the women are paid less. Women are having the job security less and men are having more. So like that we are having categorizing the men and women's job security plus their own security, right? Next, in this sector, there is an absence of the basic facility like maternity leave, child care and other social if they are not working under the government sector system. However, the women with the high education and skill formation are paid at per the man. If woman is having highly qualification and she is having the skill trained, so she is going to getting the same salary as the men are getting. Among the organized sector, teaching and medicine attract them the most. Some women have entered administrative and other services including jobs that need high levels of scientific and technological competence. Ask your sister or your classmates what she would like to take up as a career. So here we are summing up by stating about that the men and women both are equal if the human capital formation is given both to in equal way. For their human capital formation, education, better medical facility and certain training will be given equally to them. So women will also be trained as the men are there and they are going to be on different jobs. As stated here, they are basically moving in medicine and in teaching purpose. Plus now they are also moving in administrative and other scientific sectors. So here the conclusion is ending here. We have seen about the economic activity created by men and women and how they are going to be paid in the different sector, if they are skilled, if they are unskilled, how they are managing. So lastly, I want to say to you, if any doubt will be there, please let me know. We are going to take that doubt in the upcoming class. Thank you to each and everyone for watching this video. Jai Hind.